guys. This is our first teacher interview here at Yogaloha. I'm here with Courtney, also known as Yoga for My Homies on Instagram and Facebook and everything, Twitter, wherever.
All things social media.
Yes, so you can look for her. And how long have you been teaching at Yogaloha? Since the beginning, almost.
Almost, yeah. So what?
We've been open 4 years as of this summer.
3.5 maybe?
So almost since the very beginning, which is really cool. So actually, let's go back even further than that.
Okay.
And the first thing I want to ask you is, what was your first experience taking a yoga class, and how was it? Where was it? What was it? How was it?
It was in LA, in Los Angeles, at my gym, and I thought it would be fun to stretch. And I got my stretch on.
They must have already been working out.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I was working out, and I can't remember if I was doing marathons at that point, but yeah, it was different. It was definitely to kind of balance everything. Everything else that I was doing. And
Did you like it? Do you remember how it was, or if
I
you liked
did
the
like
teacher?
it, and I'm trying to think. I think the first teacher I took at the gym wasn't the one who I kind of started going to the most, but I definitely liked it and got intrigued. And I always
to keep going. Obviously.
Yeah, and I always say that it was more than just the physical aspect of it that kept me coming back, because the teachers would kind of like, they say those certain things, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Sprinkle in the little
Yeah,
extra.
Sprinkle in the philosophy and just those little nuggets of, wisdom or, more than just what this
Stretching or whatever.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so one of our students asked a really good question for our teachers, which is, how do you find the motivation to practice yoga every day? Do you practice
I don't.
yoga every day? Okay, me too.
And I think that's actually something that students should maybe hear, because I think you can kind of assume that yoga teachers have it all figured out and that they're practicing their own.
I do not practice yoga every day.
Like they're getting up at 4 a.m. meditating for an hour, doing asana for an hour, then they're eating their perfectly healthy breakfast and tea, and then go about their life. And we're just real people too, trying to figure it out.
It's true.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm doing good if I get my own practice in like once a week. And kind of, maybe not the flip side, but another way to kind of look at yoga in a different perspective is you can bring the yoga mindset to other things that you do in your life. So if I go surfing or if I go running, then I kind of take a yoga mentality to that thing. So it may not look like an asana practice on my mat, but maybe it's being out in the water and just being one with nature, or if I go run, like just quieting the mind and just try to run and tune everything out. So
Totally. Well, there you have it. You don't have to practice yoga every day, but bring yoga into something that you do every day.
But definitely come to my classes as
every
often
day.
as you like.
Right. So when you do get a chance to practice your asana practice, what kind of practice have you been practicing lately?
Lately my thing has been handstanding, trying to not by any means master it, but get better at it. So actually starting in January, my goal was to do 5 minutes a day handstanding.
So 5 minutes practicing, including falling, or 5 actual minutes of holding upside down?
Oh,
like
hey.
At a wall.
No.
At a wall.
No, just practicing for 5 minutes, whatever that looks like, falling 1,000 times or maybe holding one or two.
That press up, I saw you did the press up.
Yeah, I've been working on
pretty
that.
Awesome.
So again, it doesn't really translate to 5 minutes every single day, but when I do have time, I definitely try to throw that in. And I lean towards really liking a physical power type of asana practice. So even though that may not be always what I need, that tends to be what I go to.
Are you, what's your dosha?
Pitta.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, Pitta Vata. So
okay, me too. Yeah. So that's an Ayurvedic term for like what's your constitution, I guess is the best word I would describe it as. And there are 3 types. We can do another video on that another time.
Yeah.
Do you practice Ayurveda?
I try. That is another thing that kind of ebbs and flows with my mindfulness, I guess you could say. I definitely try to be really mindful of my eating habits, just because I can because of my pitta, I try to like not do spicy foods. I
I
don't
love spicy food.
Yeah, we love it.
We want it so bad.
And like fermented things,
Mhm.
Kombucha, which I know a lot of yogis like, but it's not so hot for pitta dosha. And like oily things like peanut butter, which is something I could live off of. But I try to.
Like all the things that we want, we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then in that way, I should be balancing my fire, not with the vinyasa power type practice, but with restorative and even like yoga nidra or just like gentle yoga. That's really hard to use for me.
Yeah, it is. So, are you working with any specific mantra lately?
Oh.
And if so, what is it, and where do you find it?
So, randomly. So, know that your teachers can appear in many forms, not necessarily what you think of as a teacher. So, I was recently randomly met this person who did not fit in my mind what, you know, a spiritual teacher would look like, and ended up talking to him. He gave me a card with a mantra on it. It's a Buddhist mantra, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and it's a mantra to cultivate abundance in your life. It's probably a very simplified way to explain it, but so yeah, that's been the mantra that I've been trying to sit with lately. And I commute from the North Shore, so all this morning sitting in traffic, which is about an hour-long drive.
Oh man.
Yeah, I had the radio off, and I just practiced my Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
That is a perfect example of how to practice yoga even if you can't make it to your yoga mat, because that to me sounds way harder than doing like plank for an hour or something. Sitting with yourself in traffic, yeah, that would be hard. What other activities do you do that your yoga practice complements? You kind of mentioned surfing and running. And then have you ever been injured either from yoga or not from yoga, and just sort of what happened, and did you use yoga to recover from it?
So, circa 2009, I had been training for an Ironman, and the race was in August. So it's a long distance swim, 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and then a marathon, 26.2 mile run.
I was just going to ask you what it was exactly.
So I definitely used my yoga to get me through that, just staying in the moment. Yeah, staying in the moment and tapas. Not thinking, oh my gosh, I still have 9 more hours of working out to do. But like, I'm just going to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and eventually the finish line will come. I always say that yoga really helped me in training for triathlon, just for that reason. It also physically helped counter, you know, all the pounding and kind of yang type of work training for marathon or training for triathlon entails. But just the mental was for me by far the greatest advantage I feel like yoga gave me. But having said that, so then coming off of that, in September I did the 2.4 mile swim. They have one in Waikiki early September. So I did that, and then at the end of September they have a century ride. So then I did that, and then in December is the Honolulu Marathon, and I was overly confident coming off of the Ironman. I trained, but not enough. Hindsight, not enough.
I would have made the same mistake, because hearing it like that, to think that you did all of the biking and swimming plus a marathon, then just a couple short months later to be like, well, I could do the marathon without any of that other stuff.
Right? You're like, oh, piece of cake.
Yeah.
Well, so about 6 miles in, I think, to the marathon, I could feel that something wasn't happy in my left leg. So, but of course I went on and finished and ignored it. Very non-yogic. So that was 2009. That was December. So January 2010.
Did you finish that marathon?
Yeah, so I finished it, but my leg wasn't happy, and so from January 2010, I basically shelved the running, the biking, the swimming, and I just started doing yoga and actually acupuncture to heal my leg. And that's when I got the idea in my head to actually do teacher training. And
Cool.
so the teacher training wasn't until the summer, so I had basically 6 months to just focus on
To really like start to get into it more.
so I started really consistently practicing yoga.
And then did you do your training over that summer?
Yeah.
And did you do that in Hawaii?
Yep, Kailua.
Yeah, so actually Courtney is a 500-hour registered yoga teacher, and you do Thai yoga massage, and is that the scope of your yoga?
Yeah,
sort
I
of-
also did an Ayurveda course through California College of Ayurveda, where I can kind of give workshops about Ayurveda and introduce people to the concept. Not like take clients on, but introduce the topic. Yeah, and in December, I just signed up for a cadaver lab.
Oh my goodness. Do you have the stomach for that? I wouldn't.
I don't know. I'll find out.
Is that through yoga medicine by
That's-
chance?
yeah.
I saw it. Yeah, that's so cool. I wouldn't be able to, but that's really
Yeah.
that's really cool.
I'm super excited. I have no idea what I'm going to, how I'm going to react.
Where is that located?
That's going to be in Arizona.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm definitely interested in learning more about anatomy, learning about the body, learning, kind of having a more Western, maybe,
More medicinal. almost.
answer almost to like why all this cool stuff works. On Monday mornings at 10:30, I teach a vinyasa flow. On Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m., I teach in all levels, kind of a gentle flow. And after that class at 7, we fire things up and I do a power flow. So we basically get anything from gentle to power, 2 days a week, but 3 classes a week with me.
And all of our classes here are 75 minutes long. So 5:30 to 6:45, and then 7 to 8:15. Or your Monday one is 10:30 to 11:45.